Have you ever noticed how we're constantly bombarded with the concept of more? You walk into a Costco and you're practically crushed by the concept of more. You turn on the TV and there's more channels than you can ever watch in a lifetime. You get a new phone, there's more apps and features than you could ever possibly use. Yet the concept of less is frequently overlooked. And the concept of more, sometimes more is just more. It can actually distract us from what's truly important. So before I dive in too deep, I just want to say two things. Less is not always better. As a tongue cancer survivor who now has less ability to speak, eat, and swallow, I assure you less is not always better. Number two, I didn't come up with this concept. It's been around a long time. Anyone here, if you're familiar with the tidying guru, Marie Kondo, anybody? You know, if you know who she is, she epitomizes this idea. What I am trying to say is that I think we need to look at this idea and apply it to emergency management to see if we could use it to improve our plans, our training, and our public education. Now, we all have a tendency to add. It's practically in our DNA. And in a way it is. You look out in nature and, you know, animals with more colorful plumage, with more resources, they're stronger. You know, it signifies that they're healthy, they thrive, and they're able to reproduce. Now, for humans, they've done studies, and it's shown that when we're confronted with the challenge of improving on something, unless we're prompted to, we almost always will add. We won't subtract. Now let's think about this in terms of our emergency plans. The last time you updated your plan, did you add to it? Did you subtract? If you're like me, you probably added to your plan because there's always something new we need to add in there. You know, access and functional needs, whole community, these are all really great things that we want to add to our plan. But at what point does the plan become too big, too heavy, too cumbersome? Nobody wants to look at it, sits on the shelf, it's no use to anybody. I think it's time that we think about this and that every time we add to it, that we need to actually look at our plan and evaluate sections, look at them and decide, does it add value? Does it really need to be there? Is it repeated somewhere else? Now let's think about it in terms of training and exercises too. So I've been a part of a lot of multi-day, multi-agency exercises, and they're great, right? We gotta have them, they're a really important role. But I've also been a part of some really simple, no prep exercises that were just as effective. About a year ago, my staff did an exercise with our EOC team, super simple. All we did was book 2 rooms. Got the team together, split them in 2. They had 90 minutes. We picked an incident that was going on somewhere, which is pretty easy, unfortunately, these days. And it was a contest. They had 90 minutes to come up with the best EOC displays they could possibly think of, using any resources they wanted. After 90 minutes, we brought in the city manager and the mayor to judge the 2 groups. Well, of course, they tied. We're not going to make anybody a loser, right? So, anyways, but the feedback we got from that was really great. I mean, a lot of people said it was the best exercise we had ever done. They learned more than in any other training we'd done. It was kind of amazing. And then another way this can be applied is in public education. My team, like a lot of you, we do an annual safety fair. I'm sure a lot of you do, right? And for our staff, it's very all-consuming for a couple months, you know, coordinating the resources, outside agencies, vendors. But at the end of the day, we don't usually get more than about 100, 150 people. Last year, we even offered free food. We spent $20,000. We didn't get any more people than the year before. Fast forward a couple months after that, we had a public safety open house. Super simple, almost no prep, just advertised, weekday 10 to 2, got some refreshments, said come on in, meet the public safety staff, ask us questions. Guess what? We got almost 200 people. My staff, we were flabbergasted. Like, how is it this no prep event that cost almost nothing attracted more people than our fair that cost $20,000? How did this, how did this happen? And guess which event actually gave us a better opportunity to engage and connect with our community? Our open house. So a French poet once said, "Perfection is not achieved when there's nothing left to add, but rather when there's nothing left to take away." So let me leave you with this final idea and challenge. Next time you update your emergency plan, after you've added everything you need to add, take some time, scour your plan, challenge yourself. 5 pages, 10 pages, 20, I don't know, pick a number, see if you can reduce your plan. Because remember, the true value of less is the emphasis on what's really important. Quality over quantity, focus over distraction. Thank you.